Good morning, everybody. Happy start of the 75th anniversary of the NBA season and Taco Tuesday. We're going to celebrate them both simultaneously. Thank you so much for joining us on the Fumble Live. You guys see the headline. Sadly, we've got some embarrassing Ben Simmons news that we're going to get into. But my favorite thing is this thing that Chris is going to talk about with DK Metcalf if you didn't see the stand-up earlier. But we're going to get into all that. But first, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. And now here is the Fumble Squad. I'm your girl, Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at Jerry the Fanatic.
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K. And yes, happy NBA beginning eve for me, for us Knicks fans. But yes, it is actually the official day the NBA starts. We got Nets Bucks. And you guys playing the Warriors? You guys playing?
Yes, we're playing the Warriors. Warriors, yeah. And yeah, so we'll see, because you know we just picked up.
Whoa, no confidence in that at all. Yeah. So we'll see.
I'm confident. I am confident. It's just that because we're home, so I'm confident. We're home at first. I'm just a little disappointed that I'm not going to the home game tonight, so I'm a little disappointed about that because
Gotcha.
Since LeBron has been here, I've tried so hard, even if I'm in the nosebleeds, to be at the home game. And I'm not tonight, so I'm a little sad.
Gotcha. Okay. It's all right. Anyway. 82 games this year. We're back to 82. You'll be all right.
I know. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't do it one. So anyway, but let's get into all that good stuff. I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about regarding the Lakers and this game tomorrow. But let's get into this first need to know news right now, because we've actually talked about this before. To be honest, in my mind, though, I thought we were just kind of talking about it because it was the news at the time. I did think that DeAndre Ayton and the Suns would figure something out. I mean, maybe I was just naive, but I really did think that they would figure something out and this one would just go away. But it's official when Woj tweets about it, and he did. So this ship has sailed, and he is saying that it's over for the extension talk. So he says Suns talks with DeAndre Ayton on rookie extension have ended without a deal. Ayton expected max contract, and owner Robert Savers hasn't offered it. More coming on consequences for failing to reach the deal with the 2018 number 1 overall pick, an NBA Today debut. So again, this one's interesting to me because he wanted a deal that would have been right around $172 million plus, of course, incentives. And at one point, the Suns did seem to have just a problem with the length of time on the contract because he wanted a 5-year extension. So they did kind of talk about a shorter max deal, like a 3 or 4 years, but they just kind of tossed it around and then they stopped talking. I don't know what else. They just stopped talking. So he'll make $12.6 million this year, and he'll finish the season as a restricted free agent. But now he has to feel disrespected because, like we said before, his draft classmates have made a deal. Trae Young, Luka, Shai, Michael Porter Jr. So the Suns also made a deal with Bridges, and he's on a 4-year, $90 million contract extension. And Landry Shamet, they made a deal with him on Monday.
That's the one that made me laugh. That was the one that made me laugh.
So I'm like, this would make me feel some type of way. And we all know how players get when they feel some type of way. So my question for you, Chris, is does he have a right to feel disrespected in this situation?
Oh, yeah, for sure. He has every right to feel disrespected. But at the same time, I get why the Suns didn't go all in on paying him the big bucks. But the reason why DeAndre Ayton should feel disrespected is he's the first overall pick since Anthony Bennett to not sign a contract extension by the deadline. And that's a rough pool of players that you need to be in, because it's literally just the two of them and not many else. I mean, you can go down the line before Anthony Bennett, but there's not many before that. So so the disrespect definitely has to be there. And then to compile onto it, Mikal Bridges deserved every cent, and his contract was nowhere near the same amount that DeAndre Ayton was looking at. But the Landry Shamet one, I was like, sheesh. Landry Shamet was, and I like Landry Shamet, but this dude was the end of a lot of players, a lot of teams' bench. Philly, Brooklyn. He went out of the rotation in Brooklyn, and now he just got a spot with the Phoenix Suns, and it looked like he was just going to be a filler. And now he got a 4-year, $43 million deal, $10 million per year, and DeAndre Ayton couldn't get nothing, no extension, not even a short 3-year extension. Yeah, I'd feel a type of way if I was DeAndre Ayton for sure. I don't know. Yeah, I'd feel a type of way.
And that's my thing. I see Kevin Lang in the chat. He says Shannon is a baller though, and Ayton is not. I thought Ayton played extremely well. You know, the end of the season, obviously in the playoffs, I thought he was crucial to that scheme. And so again, I'm not mad at the Suns saying no, we don't want to do a 5-year. I'm not mad at that per se, but no contract at all. That just seems. I know it seemed like you had a thought. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the Shaman line. I like Landry Shaman. Not love, but I like Landry Shaman. And yes, he balled in Philly, but he had one job in Brooklyn and he couldn't get it done. So it's like it's Jameis Winston effect. Like you got one good year, then you had the year, so now it's about breaking even. But then he got paid for it. But like I was gonna say with the Phoenix Suns though, with DeAndre Ayton, I think it's just they don't know if they want to go all in on DeAndre Ayton because they don't know which one they're going to get because right now he's getting a lot of comparisons, which is a good comparison back in like 2010, 2009 to like Tyson Chandler. And in today's NBA, you need more than that. You know, a lot of these bigs that can protect the rim, they get paid like a Daniel Gafford who just got paid for Washington. Like they get paid nicely, but the thing is, at least they're consistent rim protectors. DeAndre Ayton is sometimes rim protector and sometimes an offensive threat. So it's like, do you want to pay that kind of money, Michael Porter Jr., Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Trae Young money for a guy that is not going to be a guy that's going to go out there and dominate the floor every time he's out there? So I get Phoenix on that, but the fact that you couldn't come up with any extension for Ayton, that's where the disrespect comes in for me. That part to me is crazy.
Yeah, so now it's always this question. So we live in a different time now where players, when they feel disrespected, they tend to act out. I don't see DeAndre doing that because I think ultimately he'll realize, let me just do what I have to do. And then next season, if I have to go somewhere else, I'll just go somewhere else. That's fine. Do you think he's just going to go out there and now it's not going to be we don't know who we're going to get. We're going to get exactly the dope DeAndre that we think he could be because now he's eyeing something else. Do you think he would even want to re-sign with the Suns at this point?
It reminds me of Lonzo Ball, right? It's the same situation. You know, Lonzo Ball, when you have your star player in Zion Williamson that was asking for you to bring him back because he liked the chemistry with his point guard, but the team says, And then I don't know if this is the same situation as far as like team wanting him, but Lonzo bet on himself and then he got paid in Chicago. And I guarantee you DeAndre Ayton is going to have a very similar situation. You know, he's going to get offer from somebody. It might not be a place he wants to go to. I don't think it's going to be the same in that regard because of his position, but he's going to get paid by somebody if it's not like Orlando or Washington or something like that. They'll throw some money at him. So I think it's the best bet for him unless he really wants to win, or maybe he balls out this year and then the Suns give him the extension because he's still restricted. But if I'm him, I'm looking at greener pastures and I'm making sure that I have the best stat line that I can have this season to make sure that I can get paid.
Yeah, that restricted is always funny to me because it means you get to match. Same. So it's like, if you're not trying to pay me now, why are you going to try to match something later? That always gets me like, y'all doing, but it is what it is. Yeah. I don't really have anything else on this one. I do want to say really quickly before we get into the post-up, because I wanted to get your thoughts on this, because this is my little shade about tonight's game, is we picked up Avery Bradley off of Ravers, and he talked bad about us in a tweet. Well, he didn't talk about the Lakers directly, but he basically said the Warriors are the best through and through organization that he's ever played with, and now he back. How do you feel about that before we go into the post-up?
I don't feel any kind of way. I'm curious how Laker fans feel about that, because I thought we forgot about that, because he said that when he went back to the Warriors and they cut him. Huh?
What Laker fan forget stuff like that?
Well, but I didn't hear anything about it. And no one brought it up. I didn't see it at all on Twitter. Like, they just brought him back in, and I'm seeing people saying like, "Oh, that's a good piece. Oh, I liked him when he was with us. I'm glad we can have some defense." Oh, I'm like, okay, so y'all just we just sweeping it under the rug. Nah, it's because you got that. You had that petty gene, Jackie. But I agree with you. I agree. Like, you gotta feel some kind of way. You gotta shake it off though, because it is a good pickup for you guys. Even though he might not play many minutes, but it's a good backup because he can go out there, give you some open buckets, and he's definitely going to lock down at the perimeter. So it's nice for you. But at the same time, don't let him get off that easy. That's my only. thing on that. Other than that, I can care less because and nothing to do with me.
All right. Well, y'all make sure y'all check out the game tonight because I'm sure we're going to talk about it tomorrow. And yeah, I guess I'm still petty because when I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, wait a minute, didn't he?" Okay, so that's just
no, he did. He did. No, you're not crazy.
Right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for this. Yes. Time for this Tuesday 75th anniversary. Excited. Post up with your boy Chris. Sorry, I was excited. I didn't know if he was my fault. But yeah, we got post up for you guys today. And we're definitely starting off with Ben Simmons because I'm glad we're talking about this. We're looking at this because we saw the videos yesterday and they were awkward. Look at this video here. You don't need no sound or nothing. Look at Ben Simmons during practice yesterday, just in the far back. You saw Tobias over there, but my man over there just, walking through the drills, like acting like he doing things, got his phone in his sweats, just, trying to shake off the rust a little bit. That's me being nice. And yeah, he just looked like he looked like he was somebody that you said, hey, man, hey, the Philadelphia 76ers, we're really interested in your game, and we think that you should come check out our practice, just get it, break a little bit of a sweat, not too much, but just come and check us out. And that's exactly what Ben Simmons looked like. He looked like one of those guys. He wasn't even in a jersey. Mind you, I don't like the Sixers, but those hoodies are kind of cool. I ain't going to front with y'all. I like the new Nike idea with the thing because the Knicks have one too. I like it. Anyways, but he just looked awkward. It was just awkward to watch. He looked dejected from the team. And then on top of all this, we saw a huddle from the team after the fact. And I'm going to let you guys play Where's Waldo with Ben Simmons because I couldn't find him. So here is the huddle right after.
Where's he at?
I see him. I think he's there somewhere. But he ain't putting his hand up. He dribbling in the back, I think. There he is, in the back. Yeah, he in the back. If you look close, he back there. I saw him, like, there he goes. It took me 5 tries to see him. I've only because I've seen this video so many times. The reason why I see him. But the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, Ben Simmons is not even a part of it. So if you watch, you see him back. He's walking all by himself. He's leaving. He's all by himself. Yeah. He's gone. Ben Simmons is gone. Everyone else is doing their thing. Ben Simmons just left right away. So during that video, if you look in the far back, you'll see him walking around. He has a basketball. And I don't know if you saw everyone putting their hands up. You saw a basketball in the air. That's him. So he's dribbling. You look in the back, light-skinned dude. Wait for it. Look in the air for a basketball. For the orange. Boom. Good pause, Leo. Get this man a raise. Look at that pause. You see the orange in the middle? Look at that. That's Ben Simmons right there. Leo, that was top notch. But anyways, yeah. So it was just an awkward moment. But I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. The Sixers don't until tomorrow or Thursday. I cannot remember when their first game is. It's an away game, luckily for you, Ben Simmons, but still it's gonna be very awkward. But what?
Just a second. Shams tweeted 76ers have suspended Ben Simmons for 1 game due to conduct detrimental to the team, so he will not play the opening game.
Thank you. I had asked my homie this yesterday. I was like, yo, like, I get it. Like, you got to be a part of the thing. But at the same time, if you're not being a part of the team and stuff like that, like, if the Philadelphia 76ers let this go, that is shame on them more than Ben Simmons. So good on Philly. That's right, man. Like, I don't care who you think you are and what you think you should be. I get that. No, I hear you on that. But right, that's true. That's true, too. This whole thing is just awkward. It's weird, man.
Yeah, I mean, did you expect him to walk in like, good morning? Like, did you expect him to be like a Disney movie, like all chipper and happy to be there? Like he was, Snow White's helper? Come on. Like, he's got an attitude problem.
I would have expected him to act how he acted. And then when they did the huddle, just do one of those things, like where he just put, you don't even looking at it, but his hand's in there, but you ain't even looking at him and walks away. Like, I was expecting like those kind of things, but he didn't even be a part of the huddle. He wasn't even talking. Like I don't know. Fake it. He can fake it a lot better than that.
Yeah, and I've been on jobs that I've absolutely deplored and absolutely hated, but me doing a bad job would have negatively impacted the rest of my crew. So yes, we got together and talked trash, and yes, we went home early and took 1.5-hour lunches, but there was no way that we weren't going to do what we needed to do to make sure that we didn't have a problem. So the fact that he doesn't have that team mentality to me is just awful. It really is bad.
Yeah. Yep. Not a good look at all. Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Philly. I was gonna say, man, if they let him go by, Ben Simmons, we like Jackie said, we were expecting this from Ben, but Philly just gonna let it happen. Like it's fine, it's okay, it's just our Ben Simmons. It's just Ben. Shut up. Anyways, moving off of Ben Simmons, we are talking to DeMar DeRozan as he's getting ready for his debut with the Chicago Bulls tomorrow, and the Bulls looking solid. But Draymond Green and him sat down with the conversation about what could have happened in the offseason. We knew that he was eyeing the Los Angeles Lakers, and there was another team I can't remember off the top of my head, and ultimately deciding to then sign with the Chicago Bulls. And he mentioned the reasons why in, Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, like he was excited to play with those kind of guys. But here was an interview with Draymond Green. That was pretty dope.
There were many stories linking you to LeBron, linking you to the Lakers. Then I saw something link you to the Clippers. And ultimately, I had said in my mind, like, there's a high possibility, you may want to go back home. Most importantly, just to be close to moms. Obviously, with Pops passing away, which, again, sorry for the loss. I know that's tough. I can't imagine. Ultimately, you decided to go to Chicago. Why did you end up saying, all right, you know what, I'm not doing that? Was it those two teams didn't have the right amount of money? Was it you just saw an opportunity in Chicago? What was?
Yeah, I mean, it was a real possibility. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I wanted to come home. I did try to make it happen. There's a real possibility on it happening. Just things didn't work out, you know what I mean? But, Chicago was always in my top 5. That was always on my radar, you know what I mean? And he made the move to get Lonzo. Mm-hmm. Great pickup. Been a fan of his, and you see the narrative change with Zach when it stay. If I came, and obviously Vooch there, and we just built off that to where it's like, all right, this thing could really be a possibility.
Yeah. Yeah. Say what?
I heard. Was he about to mess up that last name? The Voos. Was he about to struggle with the last name?
Nah, he calls him Vooch because they went to college together. So he calls him Vooch. He said Vooch. Okay. Yeah. Nah. People are trying to. I mean, this is dope. I think it's a good point Draymond brought up and everything. But people are trying to turn this into the Lakers at the last minute didn't want you because they wanted other guys and I think that's all trash. I think it just didn't work out contractually because I think he would have taken way too big of a cut. And this is probably one of his. I'm not gonna say last as if like he's gonna suck, but this could be potentially one of the last big paydays that DeMar DeRozan could get because of how old he is, So I think it just didn't work out both ways, and I think he made a good decision. So I have nothing with this, and yeah, I think it would have been cool to see him on the Lakers, but yeah, definitely would have took a big payday to go to the Lakers or big pay cut to go to the Lakers.
Everything that I was reading basically said that. Like, do you at this point in your career take a cut just to get? At that point, that's all you're doing. You're taking that pay cut just to come back home. And I think Draymond nailed it on the head. Like, did you even consider that? Because when you have a death in the family, being close to home is important. But I think you nailed it on the head. Sometimes you just have to go where the money is because you kind of need the money. And I think he did the right thing. I do want to shout out Draymond though. Like I've said this over and over on this show, but his career in broadcasting after he's done is going to be outstanding. The way he interviews, the way he delivers information, I love this man so much. So yeah, just shout out to Draymond. I kept trying to read his shirt. I couldn't see what it said. It said something.
There was too much going on. And every time I try to figure it out, then I see DeMar's shirt and says essentials, and then I just restarted on what Draymond's shirt says. So yeah, I lost it. Yeah, I was doing the same thing. I lost it. Anyway, so let's move over to the NFL. And we got two crazy NFL stories here dealing with retired players. But the first one going to DK Metcalf, and it's him versus none other than Mr. Shannon Sharpe. They got into a little bit of a Twitter spat yesterday, the day before. We're going to talk about it here, but if you want more details, you need to go watch the video here on the Fumble that Jackie did in more detail on what happened. But we got to read the back and forth between DK Metcalf and Shannon Sharpe. So here's the first tweet. Well, all of them are the responses, but here's the initial tweet. The initial tweet was Shannon Sharpe saying, "What was DK thinking? Why try to play hero ball in that situation? If you guys saw the play, you guys, I was going to put the highlight in, but if you didn't see it, you didn't see it. Anyways, DK was mad about it. Felt the type of way. Don't question my game. He said, stop questioning me, little boy. And here we go. Door has officially opened. And then we went over here. Shannon Sharpe responded saying nothing to question. Was just a dumbass play. And I don't know why he put that in quotes. Like, anyway, it was a dumbass play, and your pride won't let you admit it. You can't question anything I've done. Pray your resume will be as complete as mine. Pray. Enjoy the rest of your day with the praying emojis. And then DK couldn't let that go. DK doesn't like being challenged by by a vet, saying, from the looks of it, I can wipe my with yours. Continue to gossip, you washed up wannabe. Damn, DK, come on, man. Just let it go, bro. Don't.
What does that even mean?
Come on.
I could watch my poop with yours, my butt with yours.
Right.
What are you trying to say here, sir?
Right. If he's talking about right now, maybe you have a conversation, but I know you're not talking about his NFL career. Shannon Sharpe is arguably one of the best tight ends to play the game. I'm not crazy about Shannon Sharpe all the time as a analyst, but at the same time, when you talk about football, I can't disrespect. So DK, I don't know. I'm with Jackie. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, Shannon Sharpe then responded to this one more time and said, DK responded to that saying, you know what? You're right, Shannon Sharpe. I do pray my resume can match up with yours. # work in progress. So here's my question. And why I ask this question, I need the next picture up, Leo. Who do you think on the Seattle Seahawks went to DK and said, hey, sucker, take that stuff down. You know who you talking to? Like, we ain't on Undisputed. This is Shannon Sharpe, the football player. Like, you better slow it down. Who you think? You think it was Russ? You think it was one of the other receivers? Like, what do you think? Because this response, I love this. This is hilarious because that's the first thing I thought about. And he has the pen in his hand, I wish it was a cigar, but.
I missed that response from him because the last tweet that I saw was from Shannon Sharpe where he just did the shoulder shrug and 3 minutes of his career. So if I would have seen that, I would have thought 3 minutes of stuff that you have not yet done yet, DK, that made him go, oh yeah, you know what, I'm tripping.
So the response, so I think that's the missing piece to his response because I was like, he folded a little too early, but that makes sense if he saw the highlights and then and also he didn't respond to the tweet. That was a whole brand new tweet that had nothing to do with the chain. You know what I mean? Like he didn't quote nothing. He didn't reply. It's like, I have to be better at Shannon Sharpe. You're right. So yeah, DK. I love DK Metcalf. I think he's going to be great. I like him with Russ, but at the same time, you got to know your place, my guy. Like you ain't just talking to Joe Schmo. Shannon Sharpe was about that, man. He was that dude. So,
and
I thought that was fun.
There's times when I don't, but he's in the Jackie crew. So I gave
because y'all LeBron.
Yes, I gave DK the smoke. Bro, stand down.
And like I said, NFL is just a wild and wacky place because then from one retired player to another, Deion Sanders, another one that I got to give some respect to. The only Falcon I respect, well, the second Falcon I respect, Michael Vick. I'm looking at you. I respect you too, bro. But this move I don't respect. Now, you know Deion Sanders is coaching Jackson State. And he's doing great stuff there. People are excited about it. It's a good move. But this move right here, I don't know how I feel about this, man. I don't know if you saw this, Jackie, in chat, but this man decided to bring none other than Brittany Renner to be a motivational speaker for the Jackson State football team. Now, I saw this as, so he's showing them what to avoid. Nah, she went up there and she said a whole speech on how she got to where she is, why she is who she is, and then she ended it by, it's a smaller clip, you don't need to hear it, but she just ended it talking about Deion Sanders is the GOAT because there ain't no other Deion Sanders. All right. All right. Deion, man. I just want to know what the real reason why you brought her on was.
I mean, he's a man. I think I could guess the real reason.
I know, Jackie. I know.
I don't think it's hard.
Yeah. Well, all right. Not the greatest. Anyways, Deion Sanders, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Jackson State, I guess. But this one right here, we're gonna have some fun on this next post up. As you know, the NBA season starts today, and I quickly want to get your predictions. Chad, I'll be looking at yours as well. But Jackie Ray, we love doing predictions. We have a little fun time, you and I, doing predictions on a lot of things. So let's quickly go through some of these predictions for this coming season because the season starts tonight, right? Let me get the list. Oh, it's right there. That's perfect. I need to do it. So when it comes to the West and the East, Who do you think will be the first seed? Let's start with the Western Conference. Who do you think is going to be the first seed in the Western Conference? Go.
I mean, I have to say my Lakers. Whether I have to say the Lakers. Got to believe it. All
right. Well, I'm going with the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are fully tooled. Jamal Murray's back, and Michael Porter Jr. has a point to prove. So I think they're going to be the first overall seed. Eastern Conference, first seed. Go.
The Bucks.
I agree. I concur. I think it's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks getting the first season. They love the regular season. All right, Western Conference Finals matchup. Who versus who in the Western Conference Finals?
Lakers, Nuggets.
Lakers, Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. Okay. And then who wins that matchup?
Lakers. There's not going to come a time that I go against the Lakers.
You're not going to go Lakers? Oh, my. So we're just going to be okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, I'm looking at Lakers. That's too easy. Lakers, Nuggets, because the West is too unpredictable. All right, I'm going to go Lakers, Jazz, and I have the Lakers winning. Just to do something random.
The thing about the Jazz, my boy Rudy over there, and I always forget about the damn Jazz. So you might be right.
I'm going Lakers. I think the Nuggets are going to be great in the regular season. I don't know if they go all the way. I could be wrong, but I'm going Lakers, Jazz, and Lakers winning that as well. And then on the Eastern Conference side, who's going to be the Eastern Conference matchup? Who versus who? And then who wins?
Bucks, Nets. Bucks.
Okay.
Win.
Yeah, I'm call me a hater if you want. I don't think the Nets get there. I think without Kyrie Irving, I don't think they have enough firepower. I think with injuries, there's going to be injuries. I think the Nets get to the second round and they don't get there. I'm going with the Bucks. And I'm going with the Heat. I think the Heat are like the Lakers. Are playing for the playoffs. They have a nice squad over there. Again, depending on health, I'm going with the Bucks and the Heat. And then I'm going to go Bucks. Bucks wins, and then we have Lakers, Bucks in the finals. So I think we have the same bracket, Lakers, Bucks.
I think at some point, I guess the caveat for me is I think Kyrie plays. I think at some point the double standards that are in New York City, the fan base, there might be some sort of protest, maybe players.
Who protesting? Yeah, it's got to be the players. There ain't going to be no fans protesting. It's going to be a whole 5 people outside of Barclays getting upset.
But here's the thing. You see how people are right now with these anti-vaxxers, right? So anything that they can jump on to their cause, it doesn't have to be like they actually like the man, but it's something. We've seen full-on people who don't like black people, like Kyrie sacrificed more than you know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't matter who he is, it's the double standards. So I see the Nets having to relent at some point and he gets to play. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I think.
Yeah. And I see Jumba. And every time I say my standings, someone says Chicago slept on. No, Chicago's not slept on. Chicago got matchup problems. They have my favorite point guard on that team, so I want to see them do well. But they got matchup problems. Who guarding who when they play the Bucks, huh? Who guarding who when they play the Sixers, huh? Who guarding who when they play the Knicks, huh? Like, I'm just saying they got matchup problems in Chicago, and they need to get another stretch big or something like that before I can say that Chicago's going to be that team. So they're close. They're on the right path, but not this year. I'm sorry. No love over there. But yeah, all right. So we agree on one thing: Bucks, Lakers, and I'm not even going to ask you who wins because I know you're going to be like, it's going to be Lakers. But if the Lakers do it, is it in 7? Is it what's the number before we move on to the next one?
It would go 7. It would go 7.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah. Lakers, Bucks, yeah. And we are giving the Bucks a lot of credit because it's not easy to repeat. But I mean they are an Eastern Conference team, so it is possible for them. But yeah, I'm with you. I think the Lakers and the Bucks will be a fun one.
He has that mindset now. I've been questioning.
He's shooting jump shots, man. That's scary.
And I've been questioning his mind for a long time. He's made a nice shift in his play because when I first started on the Fumble, you and I talked about his shots. He has those shots now. His mind is locked in. This is where he's supposed to be to get back to that championship game. So I think it happened.
There's no better definition of somebody taking advantage of being an NBA player and actually, when they say I'm just trying to be better each and every year, there's no better example than Giannis Antetokounmpo. No better example. None. The man has gotten better each and every year, and he's MVP, Finals MVP, champion, and he's still getting better. There's no better example than Giannis Antetokounmpo. None. Zero, zilch, nobody. Anyways, last but not least, we gotta show this video because this dad is better than me, bro. This dad is better than me because I don't know if I could put a whole highlight video of my kid not being not being talented at a thing that I'm hoping that they're talented at, because this is absolutely hilarious. And then I saw just watch the video and I'll talk about it after. Here's the video.
Don't fake it, fake it.
It's all right. It's okay. Next time we'll try again. Man, it's the whole thing. Yeah. It's just baseball is just not it, little guy. Watch him. Yeah. That's so mad. The way he picked it up, like moved it aside. Try again, son. Yeah, he better than me, man. If I saw either one of my kids going there trying to do something and they were that bad, I'd be like, it's okay. We tried it. Let's move on to something else. I'll put the camera down. But no one needs to see this. If someone asked, I'm just saying this wouldn't work out. I couldn't afford baseball. We're not playing baseball. But the dad too, he didn't look like he had much of a swing either. So I don't think the apple falls too far from the tree, because in that one part when the dad swung first, I'm like, hold on, dad. Hold on. This might not be his fault.
Just me stretching. That's just stretching. That's all that was.
This might not be Junior's fault. But that's what I would not do. I ain't gonna put this out there like that. I ain't gonna put my kids out like that. But this was hilarious. But Jackie, can you tell us real quick what you're not gonna do?
Before I do that, I want to say one more thing, because I want to circle back to this Ben Simmons situation, because one of the things that I've talked about over and over again is that Doc Rivers has been advocating for him. Doc Rivers thinks he can make a difference in that situation, but Doc Rivers was the one that kicked him out of practice. So that's good. You're losing your advocates now. You know what I mean? And it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense.
Figure it out, bro.
Figure it out. Let's get into this. What we not gonna do? Because this one. So you remember yesterday when we talked about Jackson Mahomes dancing on Sean Taylor's star, and I said then that one of the reasons why people were dragging Jackson so bad is because he's a jackass and people just don't like him. So you have a harder time making a mistake and then people saying, oh, you know what? It was an accident. He didn't mean it like that. Plus your apology was trash. Instead of saying, you know what? I saw that it was fenced off. It was such a beautiful day for this family. I shouldn't have done it. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it. Instead of saying, well, they told me to stand there. He just didn't handle that right. But to add insult to injury, you remember Chris was like, no, Washington is culpable in this situation as well. They should have done better, and they should have done, not had anybody standing on that number. I agree with that. So here's the problem. You have Jackson Mahomes, which is not a likable guy at all. He's very cringeworthy, not the sharpest tool in the shed, right? So people just don't like him. And then you have the owner of the Washington football team and Dan Snyder, who's a born-again racist. So when you put these two together, you can come up with the most ridiculous conspiracy theories of all time. And people at first glance will be like, that's not, but you know what? If there was two people that would do some tomfoolery, it's these two. Let me show you this tweet. Because look, this is what happens when you put two jerks in the same room. So broke people are saying Jackson Mahomes was wrong to do a TikTok on Sean Taylor's number. Woke people, not that, first of all, don't use that word woke, and because people who have melanin deficiency like to use that in a negative way, so don't do that. But anyway, he says realizing Dan Snyder paid Jackson Mahomes to do this to make him the bad guy, to distract from what everyone was saying about Washington football team's emails. So again, when you look at this, you think this is who made this up? This is the dumbest thing ever. But you have Jackson, who's a twat, Dan, who's a racist, and then people go, Now anybody worth their salt would have been like, that's not true, or they would have at least clicked on PF whatever's page and then seen this, right? PFT commentator, host of Parody, or Part of My Take podcast, just a kid. You could have left it right there. He's just a kid. So this isn't real. This person has no credibility. But here it comes. This is what happens when you have two bad personalities, right? So here comes Twitter says, dog, I feel like this could be true for real.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. And then here's this next one. He says, burn it with fire, because now it's like everything that you hate about Washington and you see this conspiracy and now you're mad. And so this next one is exactly what I was saying. Like when you have these two bad people, now you go, says this is a joke, obviously, but I honestly doubt anything at this point. But if he wasn't paid, Jackson Mahomes is an idiot for doing this. So now it's like, well, damn, he should have been paid. And if he wasn't, see, look, the moral of the story is what I'm not going to do is miss this opportunity to tell y'all, when you are a bad person, people will believe almost anything people say about you. It don't even have to be true. So when you're a good person, that's why people, when they saw DEION had invited BRITTANY to Jackson State, everybody's like, no, DEION would never. DEION's a man of God. DEION likes to uplift. And so everybody was like, wait, what happened now? Like, what? But they didn't immediately believe it was true, even though it was. When you're a bad person, people will always believe it's true, even if it's not. So what I'm not going to do is miss this opportunity to tell y'all, be good people. Otherwise, we're going to believe whatever we hear about you. Chris, what did you think about this?
I'm just glad we have a conspiracy back. We haven't had a conspiracy in a minute, so I'm glad we had a nice conspiracy here, even though this was craziness. But I love me a good conspiracy. But that man that said, you know what, dog? This man might be, I saw this dude on his couch talking about, you know what, dog? This man might be on something right now. So I love it. I love a good conspiracy. I think it's not true. I think both sides are just idiots. But yeah, I love a good conspiracy.
That's the guy that was smoking, was like, that could be true. He's the same guy that was smoking and told Kyrie, you should do a live. Like, it's the same guy.
Hey, dog, you see this thing? Oh, you still live? All right, I'll show you at the car. I'll show you at the car.
That is hilarious. I'm glad we can end today's show with a good, because you're right, we haven't had a good conspiracy theory in a long time. But
in a minute, yeah.
In a while. So obviously don't believe this, but it is funny to me.
Nah.
I go deeper into the BRITTANY situation. I think that video is coming out after the show, so make sure you check that out. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get all of our new content. Obviously, we're going to have to stay on this Ben Simmons situation because I've been seeing new tweets come throughout the whole show. Okay. So, so make sure you stay tuned. Once again, thank you guys for joining us. We will be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Follow me at JRay the Fanatic. Follow Chris at CK2K. Happy Taco Tuesday. Go Lakers. Leave me by myself, Chris.
Yeah.